Welcome to another edition of Handicap Born Black in America. I'm your host, Ramon Roan. This is being brought to you by Judicial Freedom Riders Incorporated. Please visit us at www.jfrinc.org. You can also friend me and like our page. You can friend me at Ramon Roan, and you can also like our page at John Singletary and Ramon Roan, and you can find us on Facebook. Now, the title of this video is Lack of Diversity is the Problem in Ferguson. Now, when we think about diversity, we think about we want to have all different races in the equation. We want to have different races. So, when we look at Ferguson, we're thinking about, when you think about Ferguson, Ferguson has 70% black and 29% white. They have a white mayor, white police chief, white, pretty much a white city government. That's a problem, people. That should never be. We should never have such a disparity. You're talking about diversity. There is no diversity in Ferguson City's government. We're complaining about I think it was Bob McCullough, the attorney, I think the prosecuting attorney. We're thinking about him that he done wrong. Well, the wrong happened when the people of Ferguson, the people of color of Ferguson, the black people of Ferguson failed to do their due diligence and vote. Needed to vote. Look, they have a county council, only one black out of 6. Only one black on the on the school board. All but one out of 7, I believe it's 7, I could be wrong, out of 7 school board members, only one black, and they just recently got there because I believe someone retired. That's a problem. We have the power to vote, and we must get it out of our heads that your vote don't count. It doesn't mean anything. Now, you may say that maybe in general, maybe the presidential election, because the electoral college makes everything complicated. But our local elections, these mayors with 100,000, I know a city that has 100,000 people, may get reelected with 800 votes. Why? Why? Especially when you have half the population is black and you continue to allow a white mayor. And no offense, I'm not racist or anything like that, but why are you complaining when you have the power? Let's come together. Let's come together, put a black candidate up, and let's run. Let's run. And you know what? We did a video. John and I did a video about proportionate assignments. Blacks shouldn't be asking for 100% of the pie. No, just proportionate. If we're 25% of the population, then 25% of the pie. If you are 50% of the population, then we should get 50% of the pie. In Ferguson case, you're 70% of the population, then you should get 70% of the pie. The problem in Ferguson, and it was only highlighted by the untimely death of young Michael Brown, is we need to be more active politically in those cities. In order for us to achieve the American dream, and we are right, most blacks are not experiencing the American dream, but as Malcolm X said, it's the American nightmare. Well, if we want to experience the American dream, let's put it back. Let's take control of our future. And our future can be taken control of by the vote. Could you imagine of having a black mayor in a town like Ferguson that's going to do proportional assignments to where 70% of those contracts are going to go to black-owned businesses, 70% of those employed with the city going to be black, 70% of the companies that are getting those contracts are going to hire, they're going to be wanting to hire 70% of their black. And you know, no white people may not like that. Well, so what? So, you don't like it? No problem. That means that if you don't like it, that means you want more than your share. You know, what's wrong with having a fair share? You're 50%. Look, you don't have, in this country, fair share is only, right now, it's just a myth. We need to make fair share a reality. Because right now, there is no fair share in our justice system. That's why John and I started this organization. 90% of all the judges are white. They only make up 63% of the population currently. Why is it 90%? We should have proportionate even in judges, even in our police department, even in our even in our elected officials. We need representation, and that's what it's all about. Ferguson's issues can be solved with having adequate representation, and that is through proportional assignments and more representation on the in city government. They can better hey, look here, and I'm gonna do a video on this. This is something I'm gonna definitely do a video on, about when white people determine whether or not what's racist and what's not, what's racism and what's not to a black man. Please, like, I don't want to start right now. Another video. However, the blacks in Ferguson, they must take control and they must register to vote and get the mentality out. And believe me, the Willie Lynch syndrome is still working today. Get out of the mentality of saying your vote don't count. It does. Could you imagine who's going to win? 70% of those that are in Ferguson vote for a black mayor. You got a black mayor. And that black mayor is going to put in a black police chief, black fire chief. They're going to also put more money into the black schools and make those schools that are underserved, under-resourced, and they're going to improve those schools so that those kids in Ferguson get better education. Better education leads to better jobs and better business opportunities, creating wealth in the black community. Now, this is a theory, but a theory that has been proven. You know, it's one thing about having a theory that's not, but this theory has been proven. You just have to get it done. Again, lack of diversity is the problem in Ferguson, Missouri. Please subscribe to this channel as we attempt to bring diversity to our bench, to our justice system, and beyond. I'm your host again, Ramon Roan. This has been another edition of Handicapped Born Black in America.